There have been a few changes to this itinerary. This was originally billed as Second Lady Usha Vance's first solo engagement. She was supposed to visit some of Greenland's historical sites and watch a national dog sled race. Now the Second Lady will be joined by her husband, the Vice President, of course, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, Energy Secretary Chris Wright, and Utah Senator Mike Lee. They'll be heading to the Bidufik Space Base, the military's northernmost installation. They're expected to get a briefing on security issues and meet with service members. Here's President Trump talking about the importance of Greenland.
We need Greenland for national security and international security. So I think we'll go as far as we have to go. We need Greenland, and the world needs us to have Greenland, including Denmark. But if we don't have Greenland, we can't have great international security. If you look at the ships outside of Greenland, China, Russia, places that we have to be there.
Danish officials have rejected the president's interest, saying the semi-autonomous Danish territory is not for sale.
Firelight, flames igniting icy night, crimson glow in frozen land, heat wave from a warlike band. Boots on snow and steel in hand, burn through ice with brutal brand. Hearts of winter melt away, no place left for cold to play. Smoke and cinder fill the air, ashes falling everywhere. Conquest painted black and red, blazing trails where we have tread. Marching on in endless heat, cold defeated, feel the beat.
You know what? It's Free for All Friday. We interviewed Terrence Williams as Jasmine Crockett in drag yesterday, so we might as well just let it rip. Let's just do like a 2-minute Eagles AI music video set to Norse goth music with nuclear submarines launching nukes out of the ice. Why not? Eagles with flamethrowers. Klein, you good with that? Okay, we'll do 2 straight minutes. We're actually going to talk about music videos today on the show. The first time I can ever say that. Today is Friday, March 28th, 2025. Trump makes bombshell move on election integrity and then announces that he's about to declassify evidence that proves he won the 2020 election. Whoa, okay. How's that for a Friday news bombshell? Our show's the only one picking up on it, but we'll show you exactly where Trump is threading the needle today. J.D. Vance is off to Greenland. We have sent J.D. Vance to the Great White North to become the King of the North. I think that the way this is going to play out is that J.D. Vance ain't coming back. I know it sucks, but next time you're going to see him, he's going to be wearing a giant bear skin. His beard's going to be 3 times as long, and he's going to have a staff, right? And he's just going to be standing there on the wall, watching on the wall of Greenland. He won't come back. Greenland's his. Vance is off to conquer Greenland today. We're going to give you the tick-tock of that. He'll be landing soon, and also some shocking polling results from Greenland. Greenland shall be ours. Today, we're honored to have on the program Tom MacDonald, who is a rapper, musician, very, very talented, and the #1 artist when it comes to independent media, cultural intersection. It's just a powerhouse, this man. If you're not familiar with his work, you will be very, very soon. We'll also have Braden Sorbo on the program, talk about his new book. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. Make sure that you are locked in with us. Ladies and gentlemen, using Patriot mobile devices is how we stay connected across this great land. It's probably how J.D. Vance will be texting us from Greenland. Does J.D. Vance text us? Not on Signal anymore, sadly. Sucks. But he most likely uses a Patriot mobile phone when he does. Ladies and gentlemen, we use Patriot Mobile. They're the only Christian conservative wireless provider in this country. They support your First and Second Amendments, even when you are abroad. Sometimes we go abroad. When was the last time I went abroad? We tried to go to Canada to go find Kamala Harris's McDonald's. Remember how Kamala Harris was raised in Canada? She wants you to think she's from like the antebellum, like New Orleans, but it depends on the audience she's talking to, right? If she's in Detroit. But she actually is like Canadian. And she said she worked at a McDonald's in Canada. We really wanted to go there. It didn't work out, scheduling stuff. Anyway, the point is that it does work internationally, so we'll see. Patriot Mobile, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, go to patriotmobile.com/Benny. Call 972-PATRIOT for a free month of service. Promo code Benny. Switch to Patriot Mobile today. Every call or text you make, visit patriotmobile.com/Benny. Okay, just really quickly here. This Greenland stuff is as real as a heart attack. Greenland parties announced that they are forming a government coalition. Now, this is on the offset of a brand new election in Greenland where the Patriots are in control. For the first time ever, by a sweeping landslide, like a 2024 Donald Trump presidential landslide, the Independence Party won in Greenland. And it's a parliamentary system, and so they're forming a coalition with also a center-right Independence Party, and they are now the dominant cultural force in all of Greenland, which is to break away from Denmark. Why would Greenland stay with Denmark? What even is Denmark? Can you even find a Denmark on a map? Do you even know? No. It's like Austin Powers. Don't trust the Dutch. All right? These people have no right to this beautiful, massive island. We own Greenland. We already won Greenland. Multiple times over the last 100 years, American militaries had to go to Greenland and protect it, defend it from the Nazis, defend it from the Soviets. Our military protects Greenland. The stewardship of Greenland passed to the American military when the Nazis took over Denmark in World War II. They just roll right in. Everyone's sitting there with their tulips and their wooden shoes. I don't know. But, like, listen, man. Dude, give us what we already earned. J.D. Vance going there to take his birthright. Now, according to breaking news as of this morning, public broadcaster says incoming Greenland government seeks to initiate talks with Denmark about future relations. The status quo is not an option. The new incoming government says Greenland will demand that Denmark be equal partners. What does that mean? They're breaking away. Get a load of this. Here's new polling from Greenland. Independence from Denmark, 68%. Stay with Denmark, 32%. Yikes. You're cooked. Don't let the media fool you. There's an opportunity in Greenland. Vance's diplomacy today could prove persuasive for Greenlanders who are open to independence, if not outright alliance with the United States of America. You need Greenland because you need access to the Arctic Circle. You need all these beautiful natural material that exists inside of that great, beautiful ice island. Who knows what could be under those ice caps? We're finding out what's under the pyramids these days. Who knows? It could be a big, giant chasm right down to the center of the earth. A brand new civilization for all of us. We don't know the wonders of Greenland. J.D. Vance will stay there, and he will wear a bear's loin across his neck, and he will be the viceroy of Greenland. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're excited for that. And we're going to cover that TikTok. He's going to be landing during the show, so we're going to cover it live. It's going to be fun, and we'll rock and roll. Who's ready for a winter chalet in Greenland? Wouldn't that be fun for all of us? We can all get that. We can have one of those, all right? You can have your Slurpee, you can have your Krispy Kreme, and you can have your winter chalet in Greenland. The new national anthem of Greenland will most likely be sung by Tom MacDonald. The reason why we actually have an AI of this. Can we add Tom to this? The reason why is because, well, he's one of the most successful independent musicians here in America. He's an absolute G. This is J.D. Vance. This is how J.D. Vance, I think this is an actual image of J.D. Vance landing in Greenland right now. Can we check that? Is this real? I think it is. Okay, I'm just going to go with it. This is how JD Vance has conquered Greenland. This is the official photo of his arrival. Got it. He arrived on a giant wooden ship with a God's face carved into the wood. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who has carved his way into pop culture through independent music, through absolute bangers and songs that do hundreds of millions of views, is rapper Tom MacDonald. And we are proud to say that this is Tom's first time in the program. And the reason why is because, well, we love his music. And two, he's asked us to actually be in his new music video that we'll be releasing within the hour. So please welcome Tom. Tom, what's up, brothers? Honored to have you on.
How are you?
Dude, okay. So I was doing my best. I was talking with the producers, and they were like, you could get a ballpoint pen, and you could try and get it, try and do the face tattoo look, because Tom's going to show you up, right?
Everybody always does that. So many interviews I've entered with somebody that has no tattoos has my tattoos drawn on their face. So you wouldn't have been the first, but they probably would have looked badass on you. They look good on everyone. I don't know what the hate for face tattoos is. They look great.
Tom, I know that time is limited because you're about to drop a new banger. Tell me about it. And I think we have a exclusive clip to play on this show, but please, the particular song that we're about to release, but then two, your ethos around making music. Let's go.
Yeah, sort of so this song was unplanned, man. I had this whole release planned I just dropped Man in the Sky 3 weeks ago, and I sort of had these videos in the bank and this plan that I was following. And then the world just changes at such a rapid pace, man. And there's people's Teslas being vandalized, and people are getting doxxed and swatted, and all of this resurgence of this canceling that I thought was sort of on the way out, but it's come back with a vitriol that I don't even think existed before. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this other stuff on pause, and I'm going to write this new song that's inspired by what's going on right now. So it's called Can't Cancel All of Us. And, you're in the video. So I tried to find the most important free thinkers and conservative leaning people that I possibly could. And I just tried to fit everybody into this video because, man, they can spray paint your Tesla, and they can burn your business, and they can bust out your windows, and they can dox you, and they can send the SWAT team to your house. But they can't cancel all of us. There's just too many of us. And, we're watching our friends and our colleagues and people that feel and think the same way as us. We're watching, SWAT teams kick down their doors, and they have families, and the same people who wanted to defund the police because police were putting people in dangerous and life-threatening situations are now purposefully putting innocent people in life-threatening and dangerous situations. So I think that this is the time where we all have to band together, whether we agree with one another or feel that the guy next to us thinks exactly like we do or not. I think this is time where everybody has to stand together and just let these people know, man. Sure, you can call the cops to my buddy's house, and you can dox me, and you can post pictures of my kid online, and you can spray paint a swastika on my Tesla, but you're not going to cancel all of us. It's not happening. And that's kind of where I'm at with this record. And in terms of all my music, an overarching theme is just that there's so much mass produced, wrapped in plastic, disingenuous music out there that's produced by the mainstream that it's music that's encouraging poor moral standard and encouraging the destruction of people and their families. So I'm just trying to do the total opposite of that. I'm trying to empower people. I'm trying to give people information, and I'm just trying to scream the truth at the top of my lungs, man. So that's really what it is.
Before we play the clip, you just brought up such a great point that the cancellations used to be relatively non-violent. They used to just deplatform you and then choke out your voice. But now that hasn't worked. They really have resorted to violence. They just want to kill us.
Well, I think a big part of that is there's guys like Zuckerberg and Elon and other heads of social media platforms. Not all of them, but some of them have stood up and said, look, we're not doing this anymore. We're not deplatforming people. We're not censoring speech. We value free speech and open expression. And, I think with people like Zuckerberg, to me anyway, the jury's still out on that. He hasn't proven to me that he's going to take that road or not. But these guys are standing up and they're claiming that that's what they're going to do. So whereas canceling used to be trial by internet, now the people that used to crucify you online are like, oh no, like Meta is not going to censor these people anymore. They're not going to deplatform these people anymore. So now we have to take it into our own hands. So now it's this crazy, violent, in real life vandalism and physical violence, like, and the swatting and everything else. So I think that they're running out of options. They can't. Their team, their side, their movement is losing momentum. They can't rally the troops like they used to online. So now they're taking it to the streets, man.
It's always been a violent movement. They've just masked it. They thought that it could be very elegant by just canceling people digitally, but now they've resorted to where they always wanted to go, the fascistic left, and canceling people in real life, meaning sending SWAT teams to our houses, which, by the way, happened to me again this week. So it's been really a fight against light versus darkness, and your music is light. And so let's play this exclusive clip. Can't Cancel All of Us. This is provided by Tom. The full track will be out within the hour, I believe.
Yeah, about 40 minutes.
But we want to say thank you. Let's play it. That is so. It's like you're gonna get like a rogues gallery of creators. Is that right?
Yeah, dude, we got some cool, like we got Laura Trump in there and Roseanne's in there and Kevin Sorbo and John Rich and Tito Ortiz and just like all of these really cool people that won't take no shit. So, and you're one of them, man. That's your music video debut right there.
That's right.
And glad to have you, man.
One day we'll get the Roseanne treatment.
Absolutely.
This is next level. Like, how are you able to make this movement? Well, actually, let me take a step back. This movement is like rad. It always been punk rock. It's always been punk rock to want more freedom, to rage against the machine. It's just the people who've been in control of the machine have switched parties. There's been a massive switch. Bro, it's been wild. It's been neck snapping. Now the left is like raging for the machine. They want more war. They want more war. They want more bombs. They want more dead children. That's what they want. They're thirsty for it. They need to have Lockheed Martin and Halliburton stock prices go up. That's what the left wants. The left will sit there, Tom, and will tell you that like you should love the CIA and NSA spying on you. Like that's good for you, right? And like that your speech is dangerous. Like what the F happened to these people?
Man, there's just been this like big polarity switch in terms of each side of the political aisle, and like I think there was probably a lot of these changes that were happening slowly and sort of they were kind of hidden for a while, and I don't think that we all realized like what was going on. And then all of a sudden they're listening to our phone calls, and there's people with 17,000 genders climbing over our front fence, hiding in our yards with arms full of Nike boxes from stores they just looted. And the Democrats, who traditionally or historically were the party of the people, became this really destructive poison. And I don't think any of us could really figure out what the game plan was, failing that they were trying to tank America. Like, I don't know what else they could have been.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and it doesn't, I thought after the abysmal loss that they experienced in the election, I thought that they were going to try and right the ship, and they've just doubled down. And it's this ever accelerating downward spiral now. And man, honestly, I think if Kamala would have got elected, I wouldn't be able to release songs like Can't Cancel All of Us. I think I would have been one of the first people that had a knock on their door and would have been taken away, man, because
real.
artists and people like yourself and people that have a voice and a platform and speak for all of the people that have been suppressed and silenced over the years. There's a few people that have managed to sneak through the cracks, like yourself, like me, like many others. We would be the first people that they would try to shut up and shut down and take away, man. So I'm really grateful that she didn't get into office, dude.
So we were really excited to ask you this next series of questions, Tom, and I'm so glad that we get a chance to get to it. You're such a talented rapper, and what you release is just real bangers, and you're a musical genius, and many times your songs beat out some of the largest corporate platformed astroturfed artists who clearly have no talent, but have the hooks of the machine into them. And that's proven so demonstrably true in this last election. It's funny you brought up Kamala, because we had this clip queued up of Eminem. And you don't got to hear, he didn't say anything special here. It was pretty it's just so embarrassing. But this dude comes walking out, talking about how he's fighting against the power, and he's like rooting for Dick Cheney to get back into the White House. Like, he's sharing the stage with Liz Cheney. Bro made his entire album, his entire career off of ripping the Cheneys, and now he's uniting with them. What a fraud. What a cuck.
It's really bizarre, man. It is like, oh, man, it pains me to even watch this, because it's just like, look, I'm never going to try to take anything away from how talented he is musically, but man, like, that's the guy that gave me the inspiration to realize that, oh, there's a white guy. He's got blonde hair like me. He's got blue eyes like me. He looks like me. I could do this rap thing. That was sort of he built the bridge for me to cross and like enter the arena. But it's painful to see the guy that used to talk about sticking a crowbar in his dead mom's butthole standing up there on stage. You know what I mean, though? Like, this guy it's like you said earlier, he went from raging against the machine to raging for the machine.
Yes.
And it's just like, the more brainwashed that people become, the crazier that people like you and I sound when we try to talk about what's actually going on and the truth of the world and the way we see things, man. And it's really, really unfortunate. And it breaks my heart every time I see Eminem up on that stage. And you know what, man? I think having Cardi B and Eminem and all of these big celebrities stand up on stage next to Kamala Harris, I think it's like borderline like election interference, because I don't think these people believe anything that they're saying. I think they got paid to be up there. And I think that, like, in these elections, there's like a lot of kids out there who are of age to vote, and they don't look at like statistics or facts or the state of the country. They're voting on emotion. And when they see their favorite rapper standing up on stage next to a president, that's good enough for them. They don't care about policy. They don't care about the how this person is going to run the country. All they know is, oh, Eminem, I love Eminem. He's standing up there next to Kamala. I love Cardi B. She's standing up there next to Kamala. And that's enough to get a vote. And I just think that's bullshit, man. Like,
it's a total crash out. And, some of these people I don't respect at all, like Lizzo, and like the twerking Megan Thee Stallion. It's aggressive. I mean, twerk the vote was an aggressive it was aggressive. This was Kamala's. Tom. I'm very sad that you and I didn't have a closer relationship when this actually got launched last summer, because I needed you on the stream, Tom, to talk me through this. I'd never seen twerk the vote before. And it's a really interesting strategy. This was Kamala's, and I need to just set the table here. And Tom, I need to set the table here just really quickly. This was her first rally, brother. This was what she did. This was rally number 1. This was my introduction for running for president. we shall twerk the vote. This is how she was welcomed to the stage. Your thoughts when you saw this?
Well, it's not terrible to watch. But like but conceptually it's insane. I mean, dude, like, it's so unfortunate that this is the place that things have digressed to, and that Democrats especially have managed to take one of the most special, powerful, ass kicking nations on the world. They've managed to take the greatest country on earth, and through things like this, made it an absolute laughing stock politically all around the world. It's really unfortunate. And I'm not even a big, like, I don't support Republicans. I'm not a Republican. I support Donald Trump because I feel like he's a disruptor, and I feel like he has come from a different place. He's not in the quote unquote boys club. He's not a career politician. He's a businessman, and he's a badass. And I mean, look at Trudeau. Would have never resigned if Trump didn't get into office. He's shaking things up all around the world. And I think most importantly, after stuff like we're looking at right now, he is forcing the world to take America seriously again. And I think that's super duper important.
You bring up such a great point. He went with the mugshot photo, by the way, for his presidential portrait. Just in case you're wondering, like, how big of a backfire. I mean, they gave him a rap album, dude. Right? Like, they gave him an album cover for like the hottest track of the summer with that mugshot. You could have really gotten, there's plenty of rappers who have that tattooed. I don't know if you have the mugshot tattooed or not, but
I don't.
There it is. Okay, yeah, there's the actual album cover. Just a suggestion. I don't do this professionally, Tom, but just like off the dome, here it is. This is great. This would be a great album cover. I mean, this is like perfect, right? So
fire.
That's fire. So I want to just get a closing thought on this because you brought up a great point. Trump is anti-establishment. He's utterly gutted the Republican Party. To say that Trump's a Republican is kind of not really understanding the two-party system when we found it in 2016, right? But your music is inspiring to people because it is actually punk rock. It is you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing. And Trump, the same way, is like the same appeal. And people have always liked that. And it's sort of the ethos of Christ. It's the ethos of fighting against a machine and not in favor of it, and seeing corruption and wishing to destroy it, seeing darkness and evil and wishing to defeat it. And that's always been actually the core of creativity and the core of what people desire to do. And it's really neat to see a through line there culturally. Just your thoughts on this.
I think honestly, that's why I was so drawn to him. I think that, like, I saw, and not to compare myself to the president of the United States, but I think I saw a lot of the things that I'm doing in the music industry disrupting within Hollywood, within the entertainment business, within the music industry especially. I saw him doing really similar things in politics. And I was never a guy that took a side for years and years and years and years and years. But the more I watched him, the more I sort of connect the dots between myself and him. And when they tried to shoot him, when they tried to kill him, that sealed it for me. I was like, oh, anybody, and it doesn't matter who you think did it. If it was an inside thing and it had something to do with the feds, or it was just some crazy leftist, or who knows, if it's some sort of psyop, it doesn't matter. If it was the left, if the left wants to kill this guy so bad, that's my guy. And if it was an internal something to do with the feds, if the system wants to knock this guy off that bad, doubly so, that's my guy. So I think the world has become so fake. Let's just keep it simple as possible. Everything's become so fake. There's problems with the curriculums in our schools. There's problems with our judicial system. There's problems in the federal government. There's problems with our doctors and big pharma, and everything has just become so disingenuous and inauthentic. And it's time for people, for artists, for talk show hosts, for politicians, and for just regular people. It's time to stand up and be real. And it's really easy. That's the only thing that we can do to combat all of this fakeness. the only thing we can do is just be real. And I've found that in music, there's all of this sort of, overproduced, fake mainstream record label driven music out there. You can, and it's promoted and forced down people's throats, and they got billboards in Times Square and banners on iTunes, and record labels have relationships with streaming platforms, and it's just being crammed down people's throats to brainwash people. And I have found that just by being yourself and being real and being honest, you can cut through all of that like a knife. So I would just encourage, and I think that dynamic exists across the board, whether it's in politics, whether it's in a talk show, whether it's in movies. I mean, look what Disney is doing right now. I just feel like that dynamic in this fake world where everybody is wearing a disguise and playing charades, if you can just be real, no matter what you do, you can cut through all the noise. And I think that's what we have to do right now.
Badass. Not as badass as this photo, but very badass. I mean, this is like an all-timer banger. But it's also, you can choose your fighter. In fact, like you can choose your fighter. Which team are you on, ladies and gentlemen? Tom has a banger that he's releasing in a matter of minutes, and so we're gonna let him get to it. But yeah, well, I mean, put that one back up, man. Obama and Eminem, or Tom and Trump. Come on, boys. Come on,
Right?
boys. Right?
Crazy.
That's right. What a world, man. What a life. This is the sacred timeline. Tom has hundreds of thousands of subs on X. It's a great way to like get breaking news. So we always put up everyone's X, but he's also on YouTube. He's got a massive following on YouTube. And so you should follow him on all these platforms. He's releasing Can't Cancel All of Us today. And we are honored to be part of this creative process, Tom. And Godspeed, man. It's been really fun.
Benny, I really appreciate you having me on the show, and I super appreciate you being in the music video, man. You killed it. And hopefully, if you got the bug now from being in the music video and you want to jump on a song, you want to rap with me, the invitation's out there. I'll let you chew on it, but the invitation's there.
I would normally say no, but let me tell you, I'm saying yes because I've seen what AI can do, and I've seen what autotune can do, and I've seen what the machines are capable of making me. All right, and so I'm gonna tacitly say yes.
Cool.
But I won't be able to rap as fast as Ben Shapiro. All right, so I'm just gonna
Well, Ben Shapiro talks a million miles an hour. That's how I knew he'd be able to rap, because he talks so fast. I was like, oh, this is going to be easy for him. We might have to slow him down. I was worried that Ben was going to show me up on the song. Like, you just never know with that guy. He might just step in front of a mic and all of a sudden he's the greatest rapper of all time. And I was actually a little worried. I was like, am I going to get owned on my own song by Ben fucking Shapiro? Like,
you should have made him do "Who Let the Dogs Out." You should have just done a cover of that. You just should have made him do it. Anyway, get Tucker. I mean, I'm just telling you, Tucker next. You got to get Tucker on one of these, and then fine. Yes, Tom. Everyone, go follow. I need to hear Tucker rap. I need to hear it. There's too many like AI versions of Tucker rapping, and I got to actually hear the man rap. Like I will help you. I will help make that connection.
Well, that would be cool, because yesterday I was driving around with my dad. We were going hiking, and I was sitting in the car, and I was just talking to him about the Roseanne song and the Ben Shapiro song and how we got so many people in this new video. And Dad turned to me and said, "You need to get Tucker." And I was like, oh, man, Tucker would be amazing. So you're the second person in 2 days to say that. We got to do it. We got to do it.
You got to get him to take the Alp out. That's the problem. He won't be able to rap with the Alp in. Brother.
Me too.
Okay? That's right. There it is. Maybe he will. Tom, everyone go. Make this the #1 song in America. We're here, baby. It's going to be fire. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks for having me, brother.
See ya. Fun times. What do you never know, right? You never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get with Trump. You never know what you're going to get with Trump rappers. It is Free for All Friday, so we're like very excited to have sort of a show that gets shaken up a bit. And that we've just heard that Mike Davis is going to be joining the show. So what up? What's up? It's your boy Mike Davis. So let's go very quickly before the Viceroy comes on. The Viceroy, ladies. We better get some AI. I need AIs. I'm telling the team right now. I need AIs and Mike as the Viceroy. Okay? I want big red mustaches. I want hats with feathers. All right? I want swords. The kind of ninja swords that are banned in the UK right now. Donald Trump this week, and let's get to our top story here, because we found something very unique in a interview that Trump did that went very under the radar. But we seized on it and said, wow, oh my God, wait a second. President Trump just declared that he has evidence that he's about to declassify that he won the 2020 election. And if you pay attention, you're able to see a series of consequences that are starting to roll, and that started as a single snowflake on the top of a mountain, but have now rolled their way into a very, very large avalanche that's happening. There is election fraud in every single state. Here's the election fraud finder at heritage.org. You'll find every state in America is currently litigating an election fraud case. Possibly the most pernicious lie ever told to you was that there's no such thing as mass election fraud in this country. That's a lie. There's so much election fraud in this country. Some states, like Minnesota, for instance, can you hover over Minnesota, has hundreds of criminal cases right now for election fraud. Hundreds. You know, if you pull up the actual map of Minnesota, you'll see that there's like one blue county in the whole damn map. And so, you know, really leads you to wonder why Ilhan Omar keeps it so tight in Minneapolis there. It's a real head scratcher there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe you can check it. Maybe you can check in on her brother, find out what's actually going on with all these mail-in ballots, because we've been finding out. In fact, the effing around phase was the last couple of years. The finding out phase is right now. We have articles here. We just roll through them. We have hundreds of articles of cases. They don't want you to hear about these, of massive charges. This one is great. In Connecticut, there are people that are being charged with mass voter fraud. Okay, we're talking mass voter fraud. We're talking at election rigging at scale. This one right here. These are 5 Democrats that were charged with 92 separate criminal counts of conspiracy to steal ballots. That's what's going on. It's not like a little granny accidentally was like, please take my ballot to the box. I'm too weak. No, they're stealing ballots. They're illegally voting in your name. 92 separate charges. Wow, I wonder why the corporate media didn't cover this. Charges all across the country. Again, after again, after again. And all of these charges for election fraud are ramping up right now. It's almost as though the DOJ is beginning to really take this stuff seriously, and is, more importantly, starting to really come down criminally on these people. And it's a very, very good thing. Obviously, you want no election fraud in the country. And it's also good that we can capture it on camera. Yo, check this out. Here's someone in a little hamlet of Massachusetts, a place not too far from where our executive producer ALX lives. Here's a Ring camera of a thief just walking in up on someone's porch in Lawrence, Massachusetts, straight up taking their ballot and going and voting with it. What happens next? The lady whose ballot that is comes in to try and vote. She's a black lady, right? So how often have you heard of black woman disenfranchisement and the attacks against black women? Where was the marches for this black lady who's standing there at City Hall going, there's video of this dude stealing my vote. They stole my vote. Then they voted illegally for me. Then they forged my signature. And now you're telling me I can't vote because they voted fraudulent for me. Here we go. Where's her march?
Second report filed was from this Lawrence woman who's still waiting for elections officials to decide whether her in-person vote will count or the mail-in, which she says has her signature forged.
How come it's not going to be counted if I'm voting right in front of you and I'm telling you that vote that you have there is not mine?
State elections officials are now sorting through these allegations and were told the results would be delivered before the candidates begin their new term.
Oh, Where's her? Where's the march? Where's the march for her? Right? Where's her album from Beyonce? That vote isn't my signature. That's not who I want to vote for. You stole my vote. And how often is this happening? In New Jersey, there are 72 different criminal conspiracy charges in a city in New Jersey. Gosh, what's the name of it? Patterson. I'm not sure if we have the article. We had too many articles. I said, ALX, find all the election fraud articles. Oh, okay, here's 20,000. In Patterson, New Jersey, these jackasses went door to door. This is the president of the city council going door to door, forking or like digging through people's mail, ripping open their ballots, and physically voting for them. This is the president of the Patterson City Council. This is how often voter fraud occurred. And it reached, obviously, its apex in the 2020 election when they stole the election from Trump. Is that the actual? Okay, there you go. Here's the actual DOJ website. Look at that. Freaking unbelievable, man. Okay, so what happened this week? President Trump signed an election security executive order. We didn't get a chance to cover all of this. Let's go ahead and listen to the president as he signs election security. But what you're going to find in here is mandatory citizenship verification, mandatory paper ballots, mandatory timelines for voting. You can't just show up a month later with 50 unmarked ballots, 50,000 unmarked ballots if you're California. And then massive penalties for this. We're going to play this clip and then we're going to play the bombshell. Here we go.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order for your attention on the very important subject of election integrity. We believe that this executive order is the farthest reaching executive action taken in the history of the Republic to secure our elections. Among numerous other aspects of this executive order, this is going to cut down on illegal immigrants on the voter rolls, ensure that the Department of Homeland Security and the data that they have available is being fully weaponized to ensure that illegal immigrants aren't voting. This will include a citizenship question on the federal voting form for the first time. This executive order instructs the EAC to cut federal funding to states that don't take reasonable steps to secure their election. This calls on the Department of Justice to vigorously prosecute election crimes, particularly in states that we don't believe are in compliance with federal law around election integrity. I could go on and on for a while, sir, but compliance with National Election Day rules, cracking down and investigating and prosecuting foreign interference in our elections, revoking President Biden's Executive Order 14019, which essentially weaponized government to corrupt and pollute our election process. There's a lot in here, but we believe that these are very important steps that we need to be taking as an administration at your direction to ensure that our elections are as secure as they possibly can be.
Okay, you all understand that? Yes. Election fraud, you've heard the term. We'll end it, hopefully. At least this will go a long way toward ending it. There are other steps that we will be taking in the coming weeks, and we think we'll be able to end up getting fair elections. Perhaps some people think I shouldn't be complaining because we won in a landslide, but we got to straighten out our election. This country is so sick because of the election, the fake elections and the bad elections, and we're going to straighten it out one way or the other.
So Donald Trump says there, he just peppers in something. He says, in the coming weeks, I'm going to do something that's going to change the way that we see elections forever. Well, he says it in like a very chill, calm way, and he kind of like just sneaks it in there. You can tell he just wanted to sign the thing, but he couldn't help himself. He said, I'm about to do something, get ready. What is that thing exactly? President Trump went on the show that has replaced the Ann Bongino show on Rumble called Vince, and he did a like radio interview, and he snuck in something the way that only Trump can do, and listen to it. It's an absolute bombshell. Trump goes, listen, when I declassify the Crossfire Hurricane documents, what you're going to get is verified proof that I won the 2020 election. He said it. Here we go.
Right. The law firms are being gone after very much, and they virtually admit they cheated. You know, we have them in a very strong position. But there's been a lot of cheating going on.
One of the law firms
people have never seen anything like it, and we have to stop it.
One of the law firms that you've been going after, Perkins Coie, which was responsible for contracting a guy called Christopher Steele to draw up a huge document of lies about you that led to all sorts of Trump-Russia collusion allegations for years. You announced yesterday that you also are declassifying all of the documents from the Trump-Russia collusion hoax from what they call Crossfire Hurricane in the FBI.
Right.
What do you think people are going to learn from those documents?
I think they're going to learn how corrupt the election was. It was a very corrupt election. You're talking about the second election, I assume. That was an election that I won. I won by a lot. And you're going to find that out. The documents are there. The numbers are there. We won that by a lot. Mm-hmm. We won 3 elections, and we did very well in the second one. Now, the third one, we blew it away. The third one, we said, too big to rig. And it was too big to rig. But that second election, it was the COVID nightmare, and a lot of that had to play. But that was a rigged election, totally rigged.
So that's a pretty unique thing for the president to say. All the documents are there. Get ready. I'm about to declassify them. I won the election. So much to be declassified at the FBI. So many interesting things happening in the legal arena. Of course, the only man to speak with about questions of such great import is the man, the viceroy, a man who may become viceroy of a newly conquered Greenland. I mean, he does have red hair after all. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who needs no introduction, the great Mike Davis. Mike, I just want to begin by saying we have an image for you. We have a photorealistic Rembrandt of you as the viceroy. Here we go. It could be you as the new governor of Greenland. Consider it. Just consider your options here.
Well, I would say this, Ben. Greenland is probably too cold for the viceroy, and Panama is probably too sunny for my ginger face for radio. So I don't know if those two places are going to work. And I think D.C. would be kind of fun.
Okay. Here could be your DC. This could be your DC outfit, your scepter. When Judge Boasberg is your cabana boy inside of DC. I'm not sure when he's your shine box boy in DC. There you go. That's a little better. Because you'll need to get that staff polished, Mike.
Yes, I lay around in swimming trunks at the pool at a cabana because I have that complexion. So,
All
Ben,
right,
you know this. Gingers do not do well in the sun. We're like little leprechauns. So we avoid the sun. That's why it's overcast and cloudy 95% of the time in Ireland to protect this face for radio.
All right, well, here we go. Stop it with the mic AI. Stop. I can see where they're loading up, Mike, and I'm gonna put a stop to it. All right, we have a serious thing to talk about here. So we've gone through with this show a series of massive consequences for people who cheated in the election, and people are actually getting arrested for this and charged in Connecticut. There are Democrats who are facing 92 separate charges for conspiracy for ballot rigging and mass ballot election fraud. Now, I heard there was no such thing as mass election fraud that changed the election results. That's clearly untrue, Mike. What should happen to people who are caught cheating?
Well, they should be thrown in prison for election fraud. And the Democrats say there's no election fraud. And then when they get caught with election fraud, they say, well, there's not enough election fraud to overturn the election. And then when you find election fraud to overturn the election, they call you an election denier. So obviously there's fraud. Why else do you think Democrats have mass imported 15 million illegal immigrants into our country and then made it very easy for them to register to vote and made it very hard to stop them when they oppose the SAVE Act? Of course, they're importing these voters. It's, they used to say that Tucker talks about this massive conspiracy theory called the replacement theory. Well, what the hell do you think they're doing under Joe Biden for the last 15 years? I would just say this. Let's just cut a deal, Ben. Let's just tell the Democrats, if you don't mass import Tren de Aragua foreign terrorists who are going to rape, kidnap, torture, and murder Americans, and you don't import international gangbangers like MS-13 and 15 million other illegal immigrants. We will just mail the ballots to them in El Salvador and Guatemala and what other third world hellhole from which they came, and so they can just vote from there, and we don't have the resulting crime and chaos. And we'll even count the population of El Salvador in California's census count next time. So that will solve both of the Democrats' problems. They want more House seats in blue states, and they want more illegal voters.
I'm not sure I'm down with that plan, Mike. I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm not sure I'm down. I can see downsides to this plan, but it's a very interesting one. It's about as interesting as a judge saying, you know what, I'm gonna demand that you actually import more terrorism to this country, which is what's been happening. Judge Boasberg, the luckiest judge on earth, man. I mean, he's just been handed all of Trump's cases. And so it reminds me of a dear friend of the show, Juan Merchan, where he just got Steve Bannon's cases and Peter Navarro's cases and all the Trump cases. Very unique how this always happens in these districts. This guy also, we've been doing some research, Mike. This guy was the one who let Ray Epps walk. He's a guy who did a slap on the wrist for Russia Gators, for the people who lied in the FISA court. Boy, oh boy, what luck of the draw, right? I got to go to a casino with Judge Boasberg. He's just the luckiest guy ever. He gets every case that the deep state needs squashed, and he gets every case against Trump that could kneecap the presidency. What do you make of this, Mike?
Yeah, D.C. Obama Judge Jeb Boasberg, and he's actually the most moderate of the Marxists on the D.C. court. He's only 95% Marxist instead of 100% Marxist, like someone like Tanya Chutkan. So look, it's not random at all that he got these cases. It's supposed to be random, but what are the odds? 1 in 10 million that he keeps getting all these Trump cases like Merchan, as you said. And what this judge has done has crossed the red line. Let's step back and let's just give your audience an overview of what happens. We have President Trump winning the election, a broad electoral mandate to cut government spending with Elon Musk, to secure our border, and to get foreign terrorists, international gangbangers, and other illegal immigrants the hell out of our country. And President Trump is actually doing the unthinkable in Washington. He's actually doing what he promised Americans he would do, and he's doing it very fast. The American people like what he's doing. They gave him a comfortable majority in the Senate. They gave them the House again, and they want him to execute on his campaign promises of cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, and getting rid of these illegal immigrants, including terrorists and gangbangers, right? And so the Democrats have nowhere to run. So they're running to these activist judges, particularly in Washington, D.C. They're getting these illegal temporary restraining orders that aren't temporary, and then they're trying to sabotage the presidency. They're trying to sabotage President Trump over policy and political disagreements. They are the election deniers. The American people just put President Trump in office to do what he's doing, right? And so they're sabotaging him. And it's not only unconstitutional, it's not only illegal, it's very dangerous. Trump is not stealing Congress's legislative powers under Article 1. He's not stealing the Supreme Court's judicial powers under Article 3. He's exercising core Article 2 powers to secure our border, to deport dangerous terrorists, to make sure we're not funding Hamas terrorists who are going to kill Americans under the guise of humanitarian relief to Gaza. He's making sure we're not funding transgender mice research and Durka lands. And so what happened is you had a Judge Ali, this Canadian citizen, he's still a Canadian citizen, who got jammed through in the lame duck session onto the DC District Court. He bragged he's the first Muslim. He bragged he's the first Arab. He's delivering for Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood because he's ordering the president to send $2 billion in foreign aid over the president's national security review. And then that emboldened Boasberg to order the president to turn around planes during the middle of a national security operation to get our worst terrorists out of America. That endangered lives. That is why I'm calling for Boasberg's impeachment right now. Even if he doesn't get impeached and removed, I want him to feel the political pain. I want him to go through the process. I want the process to be the punishment as a deterrent.
Mike, this stunned us yesterday. I'm rarely shocked on this program. We've covered it all, and you've been part of that, and you're regularly live as we cover these insane moments in American history that you can't even believe are real. It's just like straight out of a movie when you watch Fannie Willis get up there with a dress that's zipped wrong on backwards, upside down flag pin, waving stuff around with her wig falling off. It's like, it's really special. It's like fun, you know, and she got the Jasmine Crockett eyelashes. The point is that I'm rarely shocked. And I was shocked when I read this headline about the district court in D.C. A third of the judges are foreigners. Bro, what kind of a clown car are we running around here? Like a third of the judges weren't born in this country, have an allegiance to another country. How is that possible? How can we can't fix this?
So the foreign born is less of a problem than they're still foreign citizens. Like Judge Cannon down in the Southern District of Florida is foreign born, and she's a patriotic American. My problem is not just that they're foreign born. My problem is that they are still Canadian citizens, like Judge Ali, who brags he's the first Muslim and Arab federal judge in DC. That is dual allegiance right now. How the hell is Judge Ali still a foreign citizen, right? How can you be a lifetime appointed judge on the bench and be a foreign citizen? That should be disqualifying. I don't know how the Senate confirmed this guy. He's already really controversial, and then you put this foreign citizen with dual loyalty on the DC federal bench.
Would you be in favor of passing legislation that says you must be an American citizen only?
Yes, I think it would require a constitutional amendment because it would be a qualification or disqualification for a federal judge, which is laid out in the Constitution. But regardless, I would say this: how the hell did these Senate Democrats put this guy on the bench, jammed him through in the lame duck session after President Trump won the election on November 5th and Republicans won the Senate on November 5th and kept the House? Biden and Schumer and these Senate Democrats jammed Judge Ali onto the federal bench, onto the DC District Court after the election, and he barely got confirmed. How the hell do you put this guy on the bench? He's a Canadian citizen. He has dual loyalty. He's like his loyalty is not just to America. That's very obvious.
Yeah. Very quickly, we had a member of Congress on yesterday and throughout the entire week talking about defunding the court system. Your take on this?
100%. And I'm working with Senator Mike Lee and Chairman Chuck Grassley, my former boss on the Senate Judiciary Committee, Chip Roy in the House, other House members, other Senate members. I'm working on reforms right now, bold reforms to impeach judges, to strip the DC District Court's jurisdiction, to strip their funding, for aggressive oversight of these activist judges. I would say this to these judges, these activist judges: if you want to take off your judicial robes and climb into the political arena and throw political punches, expect the Article 3 project to throw knockout counter punches, politically, legally, and financially.
Okay. Counter punch. Here we go. We have spotted a big Fannie. Here it is. Fannie Willis with Nathan Wade carrying her bags, wobbling through LAX. Nobody's seen Fannie Willis in a long time. She's been served quite a few L's. Most recently, she's had to pay $50,000 to Trump's lawyer in Georgia, in Atlanta. And here she is going on a vacation, wandering through LAX. Quite a fall for Fannie Willis. What should happen next, Mike?
Man, Ben, you're going to get me in trouble like you always do. But I would just say
Just asking questions about Big Fannie.
Yeah, right there we go. Media Matters. Screaming headlines. I would say this: Nathan Wade needs to raise his rate because $700,000 is not enough to be caught dead, particularly in LAX on camera with that slob, Big Fannie Willis.
Just on one quick point here. Fannie Willis found colluding with the White House, regularly lying under oath about that. There's still an open investigation. Jim Jordan, he was on early in the week saying, hey, we still got an open investigation. What do you think should happen there?
I think that if I were advising the Justice Department, which I may or may not be doing, I would advise them to open a criminal probe on all of this lawfare and election interference against President Trump, going back to Crossfire Hurricane, under 18 USC Section 241, conspiracy against rights, because when you politicize and weaponize intel agencies and law enforcement to go after political enemies for non-crimes, that's the very definition of conspiracy against rights. And so to these Democrat lawyers and agents and operatives and judges, lawyer up. Justice is coming, and nobody is above the law. I said this before the election. The Democrats made this a big campaign theme before the election. The American people like what they heard from me. Retribution is an important part of justice. I call it law enforcement, and so justice is coming.
Nice. Mike, we have one more image of you as the Viceroy coming, which is very special. We actually had a photo of you at the Justice Department meeting with some top officials. And it's really, can you please show the full? Yeah, there you go. It looks like you are here with an illegal alien as well.
It's Jack Smith and Tanya Shuckett. No?
Mike, you've gotten too good for us. You've gotten too good. See, that's the counterpunch we're talking about of the Article 3 project, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the Article 3 project. You can go on over there. Like, it brings the brass knuckles to fight leftist lawfare. You got to go support Mike, obviously, doing the best, doing better than anyone out there, quite frankly. And the number one reason to support Mike, he's never once handed me a binder full of Jeffrey Epstein evidence. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful. 400,000 people follow Mike. And you should be one of them, obviously, right? So support the next Viceroy of Greenland or D.C. We'll see where Trump puts him. And Godspeed, Mike.
Thank you, Ben, and thank you, Media Matters.
See you, trackers. It's called Free for All Friday for a reason, okay? It's free for all. We just let it rip, okay? We're going to have a great time. We're in a rap video. I guess the video must be out by now. So that's cool. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a fascinating interview last night with Elon Musk. And we have to cover this because it's the top of my feed, my entire feed. Brett Baer should win a Pulitzer. It's a long interview. It's with the entire Doge staff. ALX, what's the ones that we have too many clips to play for the show? What's the ones that we got to play? What's the banger here? Let me do the setup. Elon Musk is there with the entire Doge team. Who's the Doge team? Are they a bunch of like zit-faced millennials, Gen Zs that don't know anything, picking their noses? No, it's a bunch of very accomplished, very successful, middle-aged businessmen who are deeply sophisticated operators who kind of remind you of like just the successful dad on your block, right? Who always had the best full-sized candy bars during Halloween. Like these guys. And Elon Musk sat down and did such great work last night with Brett Baer. You got to watch the full thing. The full thing's like an hour long, so we can't play you all that. But ALX is going to send in, and ALX got some great clips. He's going to send in like the clips that he wants played here, the ones that like really like ring like a bell. I want Elon Musk explaining what he's doing and really like showing what's going on, okay? All right, so where are we going first? Elon Musk on Stacey Abrams. Okay, all right. This is Elon Musk with his entire Doge team talking to Brett Baer. Can't encourage you enough. Got to go in there and watch the full thing. But yo, Elon Musk goes berserker mode on Stacey Abrams.
Are we going to get a lot of complaints along the way? Absolutely. You know, one of the things I learned at PayPal was who complains the loudest and with the most amount of fake righteous indignation? The fraudsters. It's a tell. There's some of these NGOs that are crazy, like the $2 billion to Stacey Abrams' NGO that basically didn't exist and suddenly gets $2 billion awarded from the federal government. She has, why? And there are many such cases like that.
I think that most people, common sense-wise, would say the fraud's got to end.
Yeah.
They're concerned about the 94-year-old mother who skips a check or somehow doesn't get what she's supposed to get.
Right. And what we're trying to say is actually that the 94-year-old grandmother is actually, as a result of Doge's work, going to get her check. She's not going to be robbed by fraudsters like she's getting robbed today. And the solvency of the federal government will ensure that she continues to receive those Social Security checks, that Medicare continues to work. without which we're all doomed. The reason we're doing this is because if we don't do it, America's going to go insolvent. We're going to go bankrupt. And nobody's going to get anything.
Why?
What's the status of the federal government? Could the federal government pass an audit? We're going through tax season right now. My business, this business that I run, is right now going through tax season. It's no fun. I don't want to be put in jail. I won't be put in jail because we have good CPAs and accountants. And we make sure that we have to track everything when we pay a fortune in order to do all of that. And we're airtight because we know that everybody at the IRS would love nothing more than to torture us. Anyway, the point is that I have to run an actual business around here. We have to be able to pay our bills. I can't be, we're trying to create lives here, right? And like have young creators have a place where they can come and make a living. That's what the show's about. Thank you for supporting us. Hearts to the chat. Love you. Thank you. But the federal government doesn't have these type of onerous, annoying chains that the rest of us have to deal with. They can just spend money like goblin drunken sailors in hell. And Elon Musk is saying it has to end now. Watch.
The Treasury, up until now, and thanks to President Trump, we're fixing this. In fact, there's an executive order that he just signed the other day, which is protecting America's bank account, because it really is the taxpayers' money. One, we're changing the culture. The culture is been not a lot of caring and not a lot of commitment to doing what's right relative to financial operations. There's a $500 billion of fraud every year. There's hundreds of billions of dollars of improper payments, and we can't pass an audit. The consolidated financial report is produced by Treasury, and we cannot pass it on. We have material weaknesses. What that means is that if I was a public company CFO, I would effectively be removed. I couldn't file financial statements. I couldn't issue securities, which of course we depend on. Can't pass an audit.
Right. The federal government cannot pass an audit. It's impossible. In fact, in order to pass an audit, you need the information necessary to pass an audit. You need to have the payment codes, you need to have the payment explanation, and you need to have a person you can contact to understand why that payment was made. None of those things were mandatory until just recently, just a few weeks ago. In fact, maybe last week?
Yeah. We're serving 580 plus agencies. And up until very recently, effectively they could say make the payment, and Treasury just sent it out as fast as possible. No verification. And so what we're doing is what any household would do. But imagine you're a household, you have a bank account, everyone has an ATM card connected to that account, everyone has a checkbook connected to that account. It's not just your children, it's not just your parents, it's your in-laws, it's your extended family, and they all can go to the account and disperse funds. No questions asked, no justification, no verification.
No wonder we're bankrupt, dude. It's a complete crash out. And this is such a adult conversation. I cannot, again, encourage you enough. You will see insights into Elon Musk that you've never seen before, like, what does he think a traitor is to our nation? This is the clip that went so thermonuclear viral. We had to get to it. What is a traitor to Elon Musk? He called Mark Kelly a traitor. He's a senator. Let's listen.
A lot is coming your way, but sometimes you say stuff or post stuff that gets attention. You give it out, in other words. Democratic Arizona Senator Mark Kelly posted on X about his trip to Ukraine to push for continuing to send U.S. weapons and support there, and you posted that he was a traitor. Well, why do that?
Well, I think somebody should care about the interests of the United States above the interests of another country. And if they don't, they're a traitor.
Yeah, but he's a decorated veteran, a former astronaut, a sitting U.S. senator.
It doesn't mean it's okay for him to put the interests of another country above America.
Obviously, there are some Republicans who think supporting Ukraine is the right thing still, but there is a battle back and forth about how do you think it comes to an end?
Well, I think there will be a negotiated peace. And the thing that we should be concerned about is we should have empathy for the thousands of people that are dying every day in trenches for no movement in the lines. So the borders remain the same. For the past 2 years, Thousands of people have died every week for nothing. For what? And I take great offense at those who put the appearance of goodness over the reality of it. Those who virtue signal and say, oh, we can't give in to Russia, but have no solution to stopping thousands of kids dying every day. They just want that to continue forever. I have contempt for such people. I don't want to make that clear.
Yeah. So you're optimistic.
Because they're virtue signaling, and their lack of a solution means that kids don't have a father. It means that parents lost a son. For what? Nothing.
It's made far more poignant by the sound of Elon Musk's son in there. Did you hear him? You can hear Elon's. Anybody with a kid that age knows exactly what that sound is. It's just like a kid playing. And then Elon's talking about losing sons and how tough it is. Yeah, man, it is rough. This is it's profound insight into who Elon is. We have to try to inform Congress as much as we can, but the law says that money can't be wasted and it has to be spent correctly. Elon Musk saying it's nothing but sheer and total fraud. And the reason why he's getting pushback is that people don't like that he's taking their fraudulent money. For every dollar that's spent, that dollar goes to someone. Elon Musk is taking back those dollars from evil demons, and they don't like it, right? That's what's happening here. Very quickly, last clip.
For you, what's the most astonishing thing you've found out in this process?
The sheer amount of waste and fraud in the government. It is astonishing. It's mind-blowing. We routinely encounter wastes of $1 billion or more, casually. For example, like the simple survey that was literally 10-question survey that you could do with SurveyMonkey, cost you about $10,000. Was the government was being charged almost $1 billion for that.
For just the survey?
$1 billion for a simple online survey. Do you like the national park? And then there appeared to be no feedback loop for what would be done with that survey. So the survey would just go into nothing.
Elon Musk was asked about the Teslas being attacked. He's given this answer before. We have an answer to Teslas being attacked, and that's to give away a Tesla. Just a reminder, we're giving away a Tesla. We're going to give away a Tesla to a subscriber. That's it. The end. We're going to have AI randomly pick a subscriber. All you got to do is go to BennyJohnson.com, Tesla giveaway. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And then just give us your email. That's it. So that we know how to contact you. Because when you subscribe, we can't get any of the information. Most people can't DM. So that's it. We're going to try and help Elon's company as much as we possibly can by giving away a Tesla. Maybe it'll be that cool one. We're going to figure it out. I will hand deliver it to you. Cool Tesla delivery options. And that's it. We want to help out. God has blessed our program and our show. We have the capacity to help, so we will help. And that's what we're going to do. So we're almost done, ladies and gentlemen, with that. Contest. What is the ending date of that contest? It's in the next week. So go sign up. That's all I'm saying. Go sign up, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the. Okay. All right. Oh, April 15th. All right. Tax day. Okay. So tax day. Tax day. We're gonna be giving away. We're gonna help somebody pay their taxes, right? And I like that. It's elegant. Okay, it rhymes, right? It rhymes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to brand new young author Braden Sorbo, who has written a book about embracing masculinity. He does come from masculinity. He's a young man whose father is a masculine hero, Hercules, right? Kevin Sorbo. His son Braden Sorbo, brand new author, joining the show now. Let's go. Braden, welcome to the program. You're a very young man to be embracing. How old are you, Braden?
I'm 23 right now.
It's 23. Okay, it's all right. right, what can we find in your book, Embracing Masculinity, Braden?
Oh man, everything. I talk about dating apps with Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, those kind of things, social media, the pornography industry, big pharma, eating healthy, working out, becoming a father, although I am not a father yet. Thank God I'm not married, so that'd be kind of a little bit
Before the horse, as they say.
Little bit out of order. Yeah, exactly. And so everything talks about the importance of fraternity, the necessity of marriage, the importance of having good brothers around you, and how best to find them. I mean, I really tried with this project to give kind of guys in America this godly handbook, because as you and I know, we're lacking testosterone. I mean, so many guys don't even have balls anymore. I kind of figured I'd help grow a pair for some.
I mean, truly, you ever met Harry Sisson? I mean, geez, man. So, okay, you got this you got this book, and then you got this book coming out on the heels of new polling that shows that your generation, Gen Z generation, is just incredibly based and is swung more right-wing than even their 70-year-old grandfathers. That's the new polling out, that kids that are Zoomers, that are Gen Z, are farther right than their grandparents. That's never happened before in America. Why is that happening, Braden?
Well, it's because we're being pushed down. I mean, that's the subtitle of the book, Lifting Men Up in a World That Pushes Them Down. These guys are growing up being told that every inclination that they have is wrong, but not even just wrong, that it's abhorrent, that it should be suppressed. And obviously, you and I both know, and a lot of the viewers will know, that when a man suppresses his natural instincts, all it does is eventually come out in a negative way. And so our natural inclinations of being a protector, being a provider. I mean, Ephesians 5:25, Paul writes, husbands, love your wives as Christ did the church, which means we're supposed to be able to love and sacrifice in that same way. As imperfect beings, we're going to fail, but we're still supposed to try. And so a lot of guys who grow up with this mentality of, I need to find someone who is worth protecting, worth providing for, worth taking responsibility for. And they're seeing that all of those things are being shunned by society. And so what we see now is this kind of lack of masculinity, which is what toxic masculinity is. It's the lack thereof.
Yes, and that's perfectly personified by the male feminist. There's nothing more unstable, toxic, feline, or unnerving than the male feminist. The incredibly effeminate, passive-aggressive, angry, anxiety-stricken male that is a behind the scenes, a total gooner, right? Like Harvey Weinstein was one of these guys. Harry Sisson turns out to be one of these guys. Every time you meet a male feminist, he turns out to be a monster. Oh yeah, Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, like a real piece of work. That guy cheated on his first wife with the nanny, knocks her up, then is abusive physically to all of his girlfriends, then runs alongside Kamala Harris as a male feminist. Those are the guys you want to watch out for. Low testosterone actually is the problem.
Oh yeah, I've actually said we should have a testosterone requirement for voting. Like if you don't meet the criteria, you shouldn't be allowed to participate, because a lack of testosterone is directly attributed to someone's agreeableness. And so if you have less testosterone, you're less likely to have critical reasoning and critical thought, because you're afraid of speaking out and you just want to get along with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, here we go. There's young men voted decisively for Donald Trump, but young chicks are incredibly liberal. So how's that going to work out, Braden?
Honestly,
someone's going to have to give there, right?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be the girls, because too many of these young guys. I mean, it's the biggest divide we've ever had as a country in terms of genders and sort of leaning right and left. Because women have always typically leaned a little bit more to the left, simply because of their emotional, nurturing, caring capacity. They want to take care of people. It's altruistic. It's great. That's a wonderful quality to have. And when it's left unchecked with the checks and balances system that we have in America today, we get this skewer and this schism. And so a lot of young men, like you said, are returning to this traditional value system. And what's going to happen is, I wrote in The War of the Patriarchies, it's the 3rd chapter of the book, it's not a matter of if a man is going to lead, it's a matter of which men will lead and whether or not he's going to be good or bad, right? And so it's going to come down to which man is in charge. And thank God it wasn't done Doug Emhoff coming in, and Tim Walz. I mean, I know my dad and we put up a challenge to Tim, who said he could kick a Trump supporter's ass. We said, well, why don't we set up a little boxing match? We'll do a pay-per-view, and the winner gets the proceeds donated to a charity of their choice. And of course, he remained silent on the issue. But it just goes to show that there are more masculine men than there are feminine men, and that wave is only going to continue to grow.
I'm totally in favor of this. Totally in favor. Let this. I would love to see Tim Walz versus you and your dad. This would be great. I don't know.
We'll do a tag team.
Who would Tim Walz's tag team be?
Newsom, maybe. But if Newsom's too old and he's afraid to go with me, maybe Tim's son. I don't know. Harry Sisson, who, it's ironic, is the only guy to get canceled for being outed as straight, which was quite an interesting take.
Yeah, I don't know how you compete with these moves, but it would be very dangerous. And a lot of glitter, a lot of flapping hands, a lot of a lot of dancer kicks, right? A lot of a lot of limp wrist action. I don't know, man. Could be dangerous.
He played dirty.
You gotta watch out.
Yeah, he'd have pocket sand or something.
That's right. He's got something going on. Ladies and gentlemen, you got Braden Sorbo, author of Embrace Masculinity. Here's a link to his book. It's also in the description. Braden, it's awesome to have you on the program. Godspeed, son.
Thank you. If people want to get a signed copy, they can go to sorbostudios.com. It's right there. The shop in my X bio.
There you go. All right. Hey, thank you, Braden.
Thank you.
See you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Ask Benny Anything. Come on. Let's freaking go. Do we have the singer? Yeah, okay, we have the singer. Okay. I got to get better at this. Okay, here we go. Ask Benny Anything. Yeah, just got. Lisa Mills says, I love your show. Would you consider having Terrence on your show weekly as a guest parody? Jasmine Crockett was fun. Yes, the answer is yes. Yes, Lisa, yes. Yes, the answer is yes. We'll have Terrence on. He does multiple characters. We might have a very special interview with Maxine Waters next week. Michelle Obama be a big booking for us. We'll just be Terrence. Oh, yeah. God bless Terrence. That was so much fun. Bobby and Julie, Eric said, what are your thoughts on the new discovery of the massive complex under the Great Pyramids of Giza? Conspiracy theorists are up 1,000 to 0. And so why not, is what I say. You know, we've covered this. Apparently, sonar shot from satellites in space, radio waves, doing like an echo, gram underneath the pyramids itself, show massive structures going all the way down to the Earth's bedrock, with like spiral staircases. And what are they? Who built them? Where they come from? Is it a portal to space, to Mars? I don't know, but I'm not going to sit there and call you stupid for believing that, and nor am I going to say anything other than I hope that a third party can independently verify this. Like, well, maybe a third party should verify it. If that's true, then wow, cool. Says so much about so much. So I'm not going to dunk on it and be like everyone's stupid for believing this. I'm also not going to be like it's 100% there and we will go capture the chasms. Just do one more study. Just have another person study this and like show us. Also, there's plenty of technology that can go under the pyramids, obviously. So Elon Musk has a boring company, right? Let's do a tunnel. Okay, be fun. Juiced Griffin. Oh, Juiced. One of our favorites. What's up, Juiced? Is it maybe a cool idea to offer President Trump a Golden Age of America plaque? Thank you on behalf of the citizens of America. When we are at the White House, I think we will be in D.C. next week, but when we're at the White House, yes, Juiced. I would love to offer President Trump a golden plaque. I will personally do this. He has a lot of really fun stuff up in his office. He has a giant map of the Gulf of America sitting in his office at all times. So why not? Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. So J.D. Vance is arriving in Greenland. We've been covering this off the top of the show. Why not? Here we go. Here, I think it's just going to be the noise. It's very cold there. He's up in the Great White North. This is J.D. Vance and his wife walking down the stairs. Do they talk or anything here, or is it just? car. It's probably very cold. He's at a naval base there in the Arctic. The reason why they're doing this is not just for fun. We need Arctic shipping lanes. They are creating massive shipping lanes right now through the Arctic. He who controls trade between West and East controls the world, and so we need our own control of that, right? That's also the play for Canada as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, here explaining all of the wonderful updates from the golden era is us on your show, and of course, we wouldn't be coming correct without our verse of the day, 2 Timothy 2:15. Work hard so you can present yourself to God and receive his approval. Be good, be a good worker, one who does not need to be ashamed, or who correctly explains the word of truth. Ladies and gentlemen, working hard. It's a great attribute. It's something that built this country. If you go to other countries, you'll find that people are lazy slobs. Working hard is a Christian attribute. And most importantly, it's an opportunity for God to bless you. I'm certainly not some prosperity gospel guy, all right? That's not for me, but like what our God is, and if you read through the New Testament or the Old Testament, it's a God of action. You must take action. You must build the ark. You must go to Nineveh. You have to go do things. You have to go try things. And sometimes doors slam hard, so hard that they break our noses. That's fine. But then you know. That's like an important redirection. But you have to try. You have to like get out and do. You can just do things, right? And so work hard, like try. And the people at their dying days, the most unhappy people are those who took no risks in life. Go spend time at a nursing home, man. Go spend time with people that have seen the end, and they'll say, actually, the saddest thing I have in my life is regret. Regret for not doing these things. Very few people like regret like their actual actions. Most people regret inaction, in fact, and not taking opportunities and not seizing the day. So, ladies and gentlemen, seize the day with us as we head into our glorious weekend in this, the greatest country on earth. You can catch us outside. Byron Donalds will be announcing his gubernatorial run here. We are in full support of that, so get ready for content from there and us supporting Byron in his race for governor. That officially launches tonight. Very proud to be a part of it, and very proud to be part of a rap video today. So 2 fun things happening in that you could just do things, right? Yeah, do something with us. March with us onto victory. This is the golden era. We're not sick of winning yet. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot more winning to do. It's your boy Benny. See ya.
Firelight, flames igniting icy night, crimson glow in frozen land, heat wave from a warlike band. Boots on snow and steel in hand, burn through ice with brutal brand. Hearts of winter melt away, no place left for cold to play. Smoke and cinder fill the air, ashes falling everywhere. Conquest painted black and red, blazing trails where we have tread. Marching on in endless heat, cold defeated, feel the beat. The biggest ships in the sea, all owned by the oldest kings, and their dying legacy, media deal weeds. Soon will the penny show come to mind, the salt from lives for fun. Leave the gold and bring the gun, we sail for number one. Show come to mind, the salt from lives for fun. Leave the gold and bring the gun, we sail for number one. The biggest ships in the sea, all owned by the old